The day I graduated college in 2005, I decided to start a rental company. It took a few years until it became successful enough to be my full-time job, but now it's all I do. My hope is to help you by sharing my knowledge. So I made a mistake. I bought something which was a mistake. I usually pride myself on thinking of all the options and getting the right thing, but I did this too fast and it's a mistake. Basically, there's this trend going around. It is called family style dinner. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. It's coming. All the caterers have been telling me. I've been getting more phone calls for it. Family style dinner is basically, at a wedding, everyone's seated around the table and the food is put in the middle. Now with a regular 30-inch table, there's just not enough room. You got the centerpieces, then you got to put like 10 bowls of like bread and vegetables and your meat and all that. So there's just not enough room on a regular 30-inch table. So you need a bigger table. Now, my farm tables are 40 inches wide. You can do that on the farm tables, but you're paying $90 for it. So I had to come up with a more affordable option, something that is less than $20 per table. So I did some searching online, and there's things called queen and king tables. Now a queen table is 8 foot long and 40 inches wide. And now a king table is 8 foot long and 48 inches wide. So I decided to go with the king table to give you the most room for your family style service in the center of the table. Now behind me, that is a king table. It is 48 inches wide. It is heavy. It is heavier than a farm table. It was over $200 to buy. I bought it from Palmer Snyder. It is a great table. It's beautiful. It's just unwieldy. One person carrying it, and you can do it. It sucks though, so we usually carry it with 2 people. They take up a lot of room in the truck. Everyone hates them. They just don't go out as much as I thought, at least not yet. I'm getting more phone calls for family style dinner. What I should have done was get a thing called a conference table. Now conference tables are 8 foot long and they're either 18 inches wide or 24 inches wide. They're used for up on stage when there's like a panel talking, or when you're out in the audience and you got a computer and they don't need a huge area. It's a whole bunch of people watching someone speak and taking notes or whatever. And then it's also used like on a 4x4 stage deck, 4x8, 4x12 for a wedding party, because then you can put that up there and you don't need to rent 2 stages deep. You could just rent 1 stage. The seats can fit up there and the table can fit up there, and so that whole wedding party can be up there. Now, if you get an 18-inch wide conference table, you can match that with a 30-inch regular table, and that equals your 48 inches. And that's what's over here. See that? That's a table I already owned, and then a conference table put together, and that equals the king table. So I already have several hundred 8-foot tables. Why didn't I just buy a whole bunch of conference tables and just add them to it? Basically, the reason why I have those conference tables is because of the king tables. I owned 25 of them, and one particular weekend, I needed 30. And I was like, I don't really want to buy another 5 king tables. What am I going to do? So this time I actually sat there and thought about it and came up with buying the conference table. I already needed the conference tables. People were asking for them. I just didn't have them. So I bought 5 conference tables. I gave them their 25 king tables, brought 5 8-foot tables and 5 conference tables, and it was fine. They had 30 family style tables. Now I wish that I did that from the beginning. I wish I just bought all 30 of the conference tables, because then I could just pair them with things I already owned, instead of buying these, which everyone hates, which all my employees hate. So, that was my mistake. I tried selling them on Craigslist. No homeowner or other business or anyone wants it. The only people that have these tables are us rental companies and maybe a few banquet halls. So this king table is a mistake. Once you start getting phone calls for family style dinner, just use your existing 8-foot tables and add an 18-inch conference table. You'll get the conference tables out on their own, and then you'll be able to make family style king tables. Don't make my mistake. Thanks for watching.